So this is the OnePlus 13, and we've already faced it against the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but today it's going to go up against the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra in a speed test comparison. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Let's go ahead and begin the speed test with a boot up in 3, 2, go. And now some people are going to say you should have waited till the S25 Ultra. The S25 Ultra is also coming. I want to see if the OnePlus 13's 8 Elite can dethrone the S24 Ultra, as it's been beating pretty much every phone this year. And the S24 Ultra has the 8 Gen 3, similar to the OnePlus 13R. And you'll see we do have 16 gigabytes of RAM on the left. And on the right, the Samsung does have 12 gigs of RAM, and it does have One UI Beta 3. So the Samsung actually won the boot up. So fast boot up there for the Samsung, taking the very first win here in the speed test. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the fingerprint sensors and see which one does this better. And you'll see pretty much neither. They both seem to do that pretty well. They both have ultrasonic fingerprint sensors, and they both go in nicely. I think the Samsung's animation looks a little bit faster, and both doing a great job here. So yeah, Samsung tends to go in a little faster, it looks like to me, whereas OnePlus is going for a visually pleasing animation. Of course, you could speed that up in both of these phones, depending on if you turn off the animations. But looking at the face unlock, right in for the OnePlus 13, and I think I have bypass on there for the Samsung, but they tend to unlock at about the same speed, so I don't think you're going to be disappointed with either when it comes to that area. They're very, very good in this respect. And now the OnePlus 13 finally has the ultrasonic to match the Samsung. All right, so let's take a look at the general performance before we run on to the app speed test. You'll see right here the speed of just running through the operating system here on Oxygen, as I mentioned in my prior 2 videos on this phone already, are very, very basically flawless. There's really no issues to speak of. Some people don't like the look of this software because they think it looks like a copy, is what I've been seeing of some other softwares. I don't agree. I think it tends to look kind of like a mashup of a couple other softwares and kind of has its own unique features in here, but definitely doesn't look exactly like either. So I pretty much do like it. I do like the different look and feel that this has over some of those, while still retaining some of the great features that a lot of other phones do have. It's a good value is what I'm saying. Also, we go over here to the animations effects. Let's go ahead and put that in. You'll see you can enhance these animations, or you can make them standard. So you can actually slow them down if you want a little bit of a smoother look altogether. It just looks so polished. I just really like the way this looks here. So overall, I think you're going to really enjoy the OnePlus 13 for the way the animations look, the way you run through the software. Everything just looks pretty great, and it's just smooth to operate day to day. It just really is. So thumbs up about that. Let me know your thoughts. Do you disagree? Do you agree? I'd like to hear your thoughts. All right, looking at the Samsung is also going to town here on One UI Beta 3. Now, I understand this is beta software, but this is the best representation of their current landscape of software, and it's doing pretty good. You know, and I wouldn't even do this comparison if it was buggy or unstable, but it's not. It runs very well. What they're adding is a couple of features here and there in the betas, but they waited a while to make it pretty stable before launching this. So this is pretty stable. That's why I still do the speed test. If it wasn't, I would have not did it. But you can see Samsung's running along just fine. Smooth on their swipes, smooth on their software. Animations look good when you pop in. As a matter of fact, they look a little snappier to me than other phones. So if you like that speed, I think you're going to like the Samsung a lot here in 2025. All right, guys, so everything is closed out for both phones, and we're going to begin with Google Calendar on both. 3, 2, go. And faster on the right. Now, I know I have Samsung Calendar as well, but I wanted to use this one because these are cloud-based, and that's the one that comes on the OnePlus. If I use a Samsung Calendar, it's kind of not fair because they don't have their own calendar app. So let's go into clock over here, and you see now it's faster on the right. We'll go over here to world clock, stopwatch, and timer. And let's swipe up out of there. We'll go into calculator. And I think that was about even on both of those, and they both have really good calculators. All right, guys, so let's head up into weather here, and you'll see, I think it might have been OnePlus. That was tough to see. They're both doing so good here. Let's go into news, and that one loaded first on the right. So even though the OnePlus is having the faster chip, for some reason the Samsung is loading things faster sometimes. You'll see right there, article about the OnePlus 13. This loaded up first when we got in here. Let's actually take a look at that. You'll see pretty similar here for both phones. Let me swipe up out of here and let's go into Play Store. And if you're wondering, I want to show you guys something in a second. We'll continue on with the app test. But if you're wondering, why does the OnePlus look warmer? Let me go into settings and show you this, because I know a lot of people ask about the display. If we go over here to display, the way I have it set up right now, hold on, let's go here. Screen color mode, vivid mode. I have them both on vivid. I have the OnePlus set to warm. So if I go here and set this to warm, they're going to match up a little bit better. So let's go ahead and head up into X now. And you'll see if I go over here, hit profile, we're going to be pretty good on that one. And then if I go over here to the next app, we're going to go to Instagram. And you'll see Instagram looking good. Fine dining with floss. If we swipe through here, very good. Overall, let's swipe up out. They're actually taking a second to load there. But, you know, it is what it is. It's loading 1,000 different photos. Let's swipe up out of there. And let's go into Amazon. And you see Amazon pretty close. Let's go into YouTube. And I want to go over here to the trending page now. Let's go to trending. We'll go to trending here. We swipe through. Very good on both. Scrolling, fast scrolling on both. Actually, the Samsung scrolling to me looks slightly faster. Yeah. The OnePlus is somewhere in between. Maybe like an iPhone and the Samsung. So it might be a good middle ground. Let's go into Groupon. And if I hit the X and I go over here to continue as guest, let me go to categories here so we can match this up a little better. Let's do, how about we do retail? Retail right here. You'll see that was first on the right. Let me go ahead and click one of these things here. Let's swipe around here. Let me just go ahead and click this right here, just some random thing. And you see in these sub menus, both of them performing well. Let's see how they start to do in the games. And you'll see the gaming engine turn on. I would expect OnePlus to win here, and OnePlus does win it there. So let's go over here to Subway Surfers now. And you'll see Samsung with the win. What the heck? I'm not like trying to be biased for the OnePlus 13, but I didn't expect that because it has the newer GPU. But you know what? Some of these apps are probably not developed yet for these newer chips. They're just coming out right now. Like, we're really early here. We could have did this test in 2 months and might have been a little bit different results. But you'll see Real Racing pops up open there first for the OnePlus 13. Man, I just like love the OnePlus 13 having, you know, this kind of performance at less price than these more premium phones. Yes, it did go up a little, but with the pre-sale discounts and stuff like that, you know, these early orders, you could get this for much less than the retail at $9.99. Let's go into Free Fire and see what happens here. Again, gaming engine turned on, and you'll see both of them loading at a similar clip. But will the Samsung pull ahead? It doesn't look like it's an Elite. No, OnePlus pulls ahead. So the 8 Elite is showing its stuff here. And I would expect that the 8 Elite coming to the S25 Ultra is probably just going to match this. Let's go into Geekbench 6. And I really, really hope Samsung goes 16 gigs of RAM. They need to go 16 gigs of RAM already. Like, so many phones on the market now are starting to get that. Let's go into 3D Mark. That's kind of like becoming the gold standard, even on like little laptops, Surface products, MacBooks. It's becoming the standard, like 16 gigs of RAM minimum. Like, hopefully that comes here to this phone. Swipe up out of here. We'll go into Speed Test Net. You'll see what's faster on the right and InShot. And I think it was faster on the right. So at the end of the day, I think OnePlus pulled ahead where it mattered in the games. So I would probably give it the win for pulling ahead in the area that it mattered. But the Samsung's animations, to me, seem to have made it look a little faster. I think they're going for a little bit snappier animation here for the Samsung. So a lot of the apps appear to open faster on the Samsung phone to me. But they still look visually pleasing, more visually pleasing on the OnePlus, and it pulled ahead in the areas that definitely would matter, like the higher end games. However, that doesn't mean that the Samsung is technically a faster phone. We're going to check that out in the benchmarks here shortly, but let's get on to the RAM management. All right, so let's take a look at the OnePlus here. We're going to go ahead and run through the RAM management, and buttery smooth as expected. And you'll see you don't have to do that double swipe gesture to get out of there. Very nice. Let's go to Groupon. See, it's so responsive that I'm accidentally clicking little sub menus on accident. That's how responsive this phone is. Let's go to News, Weather, Calculator, Clock, and Calendar. Calendar reloading, because see again, cloud-based app. Also, when we swipe through here, you'll see it's very smooth, very fast. You can see every individual app down there, and you get the close all button as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Samsung's RAM management now, see how this one does perform. You could see the animations definitely look a little slower to me coming out here, but maybe they're going for that because we are looking for a smoother than ever Samsung experience. And I did have to do the double swipe, but I like the non-linear look. It is beautiful. And I don't think either way you're going to be disappointed. I think that slower look that I'm talking about though helps it not to look like it stutters or anything like that. So Samsung really worked really well on these animations, and I think they look really great now. Also, they have a different app switcher tray, so you can see that's also very smooth, but it doesn't show the apps at the bottom. They're just kind of at the top here. For me, I do like the way the OnePlus one looks on the app switcher, because when you go like this, you can kind of see the app before you even get down the row. So that's pretty useful to me. And at the end of the day, both of them pretty much equaled it out there in the RAM management. They were basically a tie in that area. And so OnePlus has done it. In Geekbench 6, it has dethroned the Galaxy S24 Ultra. 89.99 on the multi-core score versus 68.98 on the multi for the right. We also have several hundred points higher on that single core, and while the single core was not beating the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the multi-core did. So this is an impressive performing score right there for Geekbench. Let's go ahead and run a 3D Mark Extreme, and we'll see what we can get on this one. This one scored better than 98% of devices in my last test. This one was one of the top hitters of last year, and I was super impressed with the S24 Ultra. So I want to see how close they come in the frame rates, and that should give you a good idea of which is going to be the better phone for a gaming device here. And our final results are in, and the OnePlus 13 has taken down the Galaxy S24 Ultra with a score of 6603, an average frame rate of 39.54, with the S24 Ultra scoring 27.97. Now, this one scores better than 98% of other devices on the market. The only thing that came close to that was the iPad Pro M4. I almost want to compare that, even though it makes no sense, just to see how fast the OnePlus 13 really is versus an iPad M4, as that is a mobile product as well. You'll see 90%. So the S24 Ultra is not playing around, but it's definitely not as fast as the OnePlus 13. However, that should change here, as the 8 Elite probably is coming to the S25 Ultra here in just a couple of weeks. So stay tuned so we can compare. You'll see us compare those as well. And lastly, let's go ahead and see which one can launch their cameras faster. Let's go ahead and see this in 3, 2, go. And the OnePlus won it there. Now, usually on the first launch, it's going to go to a certain phone. So let's see if OnePlus retains that. 3, 2, go. And yes, it does launch the camera faster than the S24 Ultra. It also has longer zoom. Let's see about the shutter speed. Both of them pretty much the same. This one has 100 times. This one could do 120 times. But the S24 Ultra to me has better modes. It has a few more pro modes, and I think it's a little bit more granular controls than the OnePlus, but the OnePlus still has plenty more than you'll find on some other Android phones. So I still like both of them for this area. Let's take a look at the double click to camera. 3, 2, go. And you see OnePlus still opens that a little faster. So the OnePlus opens that camera quicker as well. Let's wrap it up here. Both of these phones are stunning performers, both of them very fast, but I think the OnePlus has taken the crown as the faster phone here. So stay tuned to see if the S25 Ultra can beat the OnePlus 13 later when I pick up that phone. But for now, the OnePlus 13 did win it out here, but it's not by like a life-changing difference, but it is faster. You've seen it in the benchmarks, you've seen it in the games, and you've seen it overall in some other areas as well. Some people might like the animations here. Some people might like the ecosystem here. Let me know your thoughts down below. This was fun. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.